And also the record button, in case you were wondering. Yes, Ellie, exactly. Hello, we're live. Only over an hour late. I think that's a new record. But, things can't be helped. And it's not a school night for me because summer. Although this is going up... Oh, this episode is going to go live in October.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got that much of a buffer.
That's cool.
I'm not complaining. That encourages everyone to become members of the Patreon so they can hear the episodes early. Just saying, that's a thing you can do for as little as $2 a month. Never mind about that. Hello and welcome to Pack Tactics Season 3. Tonight is episode 27, Happy Fun Ball. Tonight I am joined by a bunch of incredibly awesome people, including but not limited to, LFA is hanging out in Twitch chat, Archbeth is hanging out in Discord chat. We also have Ellie, Io, Jen, and Cindy. Matt will be joining us soonish. Again, parental duties have called, so that's a thing. My name is Crash, and I will be your DM for this evening. With all that said, what happened last week?
So, we found a new orb that might be a lot like the orb that's on the moon, and, but we kind of got interrupted in examining it and also kind of sort of surreptitiously inviting the artificer here or up to the moon to, quote, talk to Mar-wise, maybe, unquote, except that was actually me being sneaky. Though she might actually want to talk to Mar-wise, I don't know. But we got interrupted by alarms and screaming and a big flesh cloud that I kind of regret chasing, but, kind of have to chase because it's that sort of thing, and we're adventurers and that's our job.
I really like these chroma reviews, of what it was.
They are similar to, but parallel to, not identical to, page recaps.
Yes.
I am somewhat less enthusiastic about murder.
True.
One of my favorite... Well, yes, that's a good thing in my book. One of my favorite out-of-context quotes from last session, I could not convey as accurately as I wanted to the joy in your voice when you exclaimed, "Regrets! I have so many regrets right now." You can't really convey that in text. But that was a glorious out-of-context quote. With all of this said, we ended last week's session with the large sphere of Nope, which I will refer to as the Happy Fun Ball. Mm-hmm. Or is the Happy Fun Ball the thing that's the half-embedded sphere that Bindle Bright Light was working on? It could be. Maybe the Happy Fun Ball is the moon. Do not taunt the moon. Do not use the moon on concrete.
You don't want to know what happens when you get the moon's aggro. Actually, we know what happens when you get the moon's aggro. Moonbeams shoot at you.
Yes.
Yes, that is certainly the only destructive thing that the moon is capable of doing. Mm-hmm. Let us continue with this train of thought.
Well, that's what happens when you get the moon's aggro. It is certainly capable of other kinds of gravitationally based destruction.
It flew through an Illithid fleet of spaceships.
Yeah.
And then it flew through their debris. So yeah, that was the thing. So this thing was coming down the hallway. There were a lot of screams and slamming doors. Chroma yelled out to go towards the screams, as one does, which is fair because if it was a Dungeons & Dragons game where everyone ran away from the screams, there wouldn't be much combat. Also, the world would probably be destroyed several times over. So, fun fact, I rolled initiative for Cogbucket JR. They got a nat 20. And before the game started, I said, they're not going first.
So Bindle, the worst meatball is going first.
No, Bindle runs into the hallway and goes, "That's not good. Someone roll me a d8. I'm going to take the first d8 number that I see as a result."
I have concerns about D8 plus combat, considering when they usually turn up, but if she pulls out a jar of green slime...
More a vial of acid.
Oh, well.
But she does pull out a vial of acid and throws it at the Nope. So that is going to be a ranged attack. I am once again using Zax's character sheet for rolling d20s because why not?
Why not?
Okay, that's a 6. So There is now a bit of a slightly wider portion of the hallway than there was before, but it's very localized. Put up one of those yellow signs and a mop bucket next to it, and you'll probably be fine. It's not an OSHA violation if you have a yellow sign. Just remember that. That's how it works. Next is Kevin.
Have we seen Kevin in combat yet?
I don't think so.
Not this campaign.
Not in this campaign.
Not this Kevin. Yeah.
But a different Kevin died in a different combat encounter. Kevin is not built for combat in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, not the way I've statted him. In a Mutants and Masterminds situation, he'd be bowling with Nazis, in that the Nazis would be replacing the bowling ball and the pins.
You know,
America's
bowling
favorite
skills-
pastime.
bowling skills might come in handy here. There is a happy fun ball.
It is, but it's also 15 feet wide. Okay. Kevin is holding a thing in his hand that he also tosses at this thing. And as he tosses it, the rest of you don't recognize what it is. It's just some piece of machinery. Bindle briefly goes, "Wait, no, not the..." Oh, it's gone now.
Uh-oh.
And now I'm going to make a 2-hit roll for Kevin. That's better. That's a 12. Does that hit? No. But there is a burst of fire when this thing hits. There's a bit of a minor explosion. Not GIF-worthy. But there's a small clatter of debris and parts that land on the ground. And a heavy sigh from Bindle. Okay, next up is JR. JR runs over and stands in front of Snacks and then holds their action.
Oh.
Oh.
But they've got their Morning Star out and their shield at the ready. Next up is Neri.
We are affirmatively attacking this.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you can stand back and let the Augmenites do their thing, but so far they've managed to do no more damage to the building you are in.
I'm just making sure. Okay, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark and then attack it twice.
People on the floor above are like, "What's this giant arrow sticking through the floor?" Oh. Making a World of Warcraft reference is never not funny for Hunter's Mark. I'm sorry. It's just not.
And we have nobody near it, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold my action until after Zax goes.
Okay.
But then someone will be next to it that you consider to be an ally. Oh. And this is where Zax decides to hang back.
That doesn't sound like Zax.
I mean, you do have a hammer of minimal safe distance.
Right, but I think we're also underground, so...
You might be. You're not entirely sure which way the elevator went. It said down.
Huh.
And it's not like the DM has ever lied to the party before. I mean, hi. Speaking of Zax, it's Zax's turn.
Okay, so I'm going to rage, and then I'm going to go up and hit this thing with the Hammer of Thunderbolts.
Okay.
And let's see, first hit is 12 plus 11 for a 23.
That's our first hit of the evening.
Woohoo! Alright, here's the damage, and it says 5 plus 4 plus 8 for 17. That's my first hit.
Okay, let me put in 17 points. And your next trick?
Gonna do it again. This time I've got 12 plus 11 for 23. I guess it hits because the last one did.
Yep.
And damage this time is 3 plus 5 plus 8 for a 16.
I will again assert how much I love the die rollers that they've built into D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I can read the numbers now. Get the math right.
They are awesome enough that Jen wrote an article about it for the Cogwheel Gaming website.
Yes, I did. Yes.
It is now Zenosha's turn. Technically, it's Zenosha's turn at the same time as Zax's turn. Or, I should let it... Neri held her action, so Zenosha and Neri, whoever wants to go next.
All right, I'll take some shots.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Both of you
26
call it
to
what
hit.
you're doing at the exact same time.
Well, what I'm going to do is going to depend on whether or not I can get my standard clearing for a lightning strike. 120 feet long, 5 feet wide, no allies or innocents in range.
Well,
I will make sure I'm out of the way of the lightning strike. And then
Zax is in
26 to
front of
30
you.
hit it.
Yeah.
but Zax is not 15 feet wide.
No.
If you ever encounter a Zax that is 15 feet wide, something has gone horribly wrong
Something happened.
or horribly right.
Depending. Mm-hmm.
Or someone cast polymorph.
Not that again. No, I do not. This campaign, I'm putting my foot down. We are not ending this campaign
Do not
with Zax
polymorph
as
barbarian
another
this
dragon.
time.
We already have a second barbarian. We're not going to have another barbarian gold dragon. I mean, yes, Archbeth, you're right. It would be hilarious.
Experience, this is just sometimes a thing that happens when adventurers retire. Sometimes they retire to be dragons.
And then Chroma finds out that her grandfather is an ancient red dragon. But that's just crazy talk. Moving forward.
Well, if I can find a clear shot, then I'm going to make a lightning strike.
And I see that Neri got a 26 and a 30 to hit. Those will both hit. And one of those is a grasping shot. All right.
I like the idea that Chroma just thinks Monty being a red dragon was a lifestyle choice.
At this point, Chroma canonically doesn't know.
Monty would be like, it's because your spaceship is red. I wanted to match the spaceship. That's why. Actually, Monty could just say that that's his natural scale color. So why not? Okay, I am waiting for all of the damages. And what's the saving throw for the lightning thing?
DC 17.
And that's dexterity, correct?
Yes, dexterity.
Okay,
I remembered the thing.
Is it a... Never mind.
It's a nope.
Yeah.
That is...
It's a nope made of meat.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 21.
Whoa.
And I see 32 piercing damage from Neri, and more, but I'm putting in the 32 first. And then 6 poison damage, and some speed reduction. And if it tries to move, it's going to take some slashing damage. And oh hey, OBS disconnected. Wasn't that nice? Is anyone there? Can you hear me?
Bonus action, I think I'll pop a healing spirit. I'll try to put it somewhere where everyone can get to it, but knowing experience, I'll put it right on top of JR.
And I'm back. I was disconnected. My lights flickered. That was fun.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yes. Apparently it was enough of an outage to make my lights flicker and take out my internet, but not enough to make my computer turn off.
Weird.
Which, as it's a desktop without a battery inside, I'm very happy about that.
Okay.
So where I left off, I was putting in the damage for Neri's attacks, and I did not hear anything about the lightning damage, but I'm seeing the 9d6 that has very quickly appeared as Discord has caught up.
Yeah,
And
so that's the lightning damage if it failed to save and doesn't have any resistances.
So that's already reduced by half? Oh, wait, no, that's if it failed to save.
If it
If it
fails.
failed to save. So I got to reduce that by half. Okay. Okay, it's
Apparently
going to take
Game
9
Office-
points of damage. Well, that's a 37, and we round down unless told otherwise, so it takes 9 points of damage.
Okay. So if I'm standing next to the thing that just got hit by lightning, am I hit by lightning as well, or no?
No.
I wouldn't have fired if you were in the way.
Okay.
I asked Crash that specifically.
Okay.
If it was real-life lightning,
I mean, yeah, that'd be different.
yes.
Yeah.
But real-life
So-
lightning is not sent out of a magical stick.
Right. Right. Yeah. Zax has got resistance to fire, but not lightning.
Okay, and I appreciate that. I jokingly said both of you do your attacks at the exact same time, and we had both the attacks happen at the exact same time. I am okay with this. JR continues to hold their action. It's almost like they're waiting for something.
As
Chroma.
my bonus action, I'm gonna pop a healing spirit. I'll try to put it somewhere where everyone can get to it, but it is basically going to be right on top of JR.
Okay, and JR is right on top of Snacks.
Right.
They figured
It's probably a good
Snacks is
spot
the
for
most
it.
squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Bindle and Kevin are the most squishy.
But JR doesn't know that.
But they're right next to Snacks.
Yeah. Well, that works
So.
then.
Yeah, it works. But it is Chroma's turn now.
Okay. I'm going to set down the force cannon ballista. I set down the ballista.
Oh, hey! I'm here again. Are we still on the moon? I really like being on the moon. Man, it's great to have moon adventures.
We're not on the moon, but there is a horrible thing here and we need to shoot it.
Oh, that's twice the bad news. Fantastic. I am ready to help you in any way I can.
Thank you. Sorry. And for my bonus action, the ballista fires using my ability modifier. Oh, wait. I forgot pack tactics. And that is a 26.
That will hit. I don't know why I gave this thing an AC. Oh, wait, the NPCs. The NPCs can't hit it for anything.
Okay.
But
It doesn't have that high in AC, but I was rolling very low.
and I think it still does 2d8 damage. And that is 11 force damage. And also, I am going to raise my shield and run up towards it. The bad squishy thing, not the cannon. The cannon's right next to where I was.
Fascinating! They've made a change in D&D Beyond since Saturday.
Oh,
When a creature is bloodied, its hit points in the combat tracker change to red.
Ooh,
ooh.
neat.
Very neat.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's your turn?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it is now this thing's turn. Okay, at the start of its turn, it heals hit points.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Thanks, I hate it.
And this character doesn't even have chill touch. And I don't think she can. And also it's a good thing she can't, because Chroma summoning skeletal hands to do necrotic damage to things is...
Wow.
I don't want to know how an artificer would do that.
Ellie's comment, oh my.
I mean-
precedent for that. I mean,
You're basically just throwing the Terminator hand at it.
Ellie, I say this with love. Stop reading my notes.
oh no, is that what happened? Because Ellie wrote, at least
It is an
my
ability.
absorbing sex.
It is an ability that is listed.
Oh no.
Other things have to happen first. It doesn't just... I don't just say it eats you.
So it does not cast Vampiric Touch.
No, it does not
Or
cast
it-
Vampiric Touch. But it does have an ability that is literally called Engulf. Okay, what's going to happen here? Fascinating.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I am going to ask Zenosha, Chroma, and Zax to all make dexterity saving throws.
Oh.
Ooh, I'm not good at those. Will you accept a 13?
Oh god.
It
I got
needs
a
to be
4.
a 16.
I got a 4 plus 3 for a 7.
Ooh.
Okay, I want to use Flash of Genius, but I don't know what it's doing yet, so I can't come up with a good way to, smart my way out of it.
Okay, well, this... So you know how it got hit by lightning?
Yeah?
It's decided to return the favor.
Oh no.
Ooh.
One of the various things that, like, this whole time, it's been growing and absorbing various things on its, for want of a better word, carcass. And one of the things that grows is a bit more translucent, and it bursts. And as it bursts, it sends a line of lightning down the hallway. And the three of you whose names I called out, those are the three who are getting hit.
Okay.
So it's DC
Well-
16 dexterity saving throw to take half damage.
With
DC 16. I got a 7, so... And I'm raging. Does that count?
Raging, unfortunately, will not have lightning damage.
Alright, so what's my total damage?
If you did not make the save, 66.
Okay,
Ooh,
I can do that.
Not 6d6. You go into the hit point tracker and you put a 6 and then another 6.
Oh, this is not good at all.
And then you press the damage button.
Yeah, this is not good.
No.
This is really, really not good.
Consider, if you will, it's the equivalent of a breath weapon. It has a recharge. It won't be doing this every turn unless I roll really, really well. Or poorly, depending on things.
well, I went down to 14 hit points.
I think in this case, I am not using Flash of Genius. I am going to use Absorb Elements.
Oh no. We're playing catch with the lightning. Chroma's going to hand it back next turn.
So this thing is now a Legend of Zelda boss?
No, it's a ghast from Minecraft. Large floats send things your way that you can send back. Okay, but that is its turn. It is now Snax' turn, and Matt is not here yet. So let's see. I'm going to have him cast his highest level spell. No, that would not be fair. I am going to have him cast Ray of Frost because it's a cantrip. Also, I'm not entirely sure he pressed the long rest button last time. You know what? I can guarantee you he did not, because there's no reason for him to only have 21 hit points right now. There we go. Now he's up to his regular total. I'm glad that I picked the 3 characters I picked because 66 hit points of damage would have killed him.
Oh.
Ray of Frost, that is a 21 to hit. I roll 2 1s for damage. Actually, no, that's a 7. The 1 and the 7 on the D&D Beyond dice look very similar. I'm glad it gives me a total in a separate screen. So that's 8 points of frost damage, and it takes 4 of them. Okay, we're at the start of the initiative order. We're going to start with Bindle. Bindle pulls out a device that looks like it has a long needle and some type of red, slightly glowy liquid inside a glass capsule. And she runs over to... Oh, that's a good question. Who does she run over to? I shall roll. Oh, wait. You know what? I skipped JR's turn. They were holding their action the entire time. They are going to do a thing.
Oh.
Yes. They are going to run up to Chroma.
Hi. Hi.
And they lay on hands for 10 hit points.
Oh, thank you. That helps.
You're welcome. Now, back to Bindle. Bindle runs up to Zenosha and says, "You might feel a little pinch," and then jabs you in the arm with a large needle.
Ow.
And that's a low roll, but whatever gets injected into your arm heals you for 3 hit points.
Better than nothing.
Yep. Considering the die that I rolled, that is an incredibly low result, more than you would think. Okay. Kevin runs up to Zax and says, "I'm not even sure you're going to feel this, but please don't kill me for it."
Okay.
And he also stabs you with a needle in the arm. It's like a shot in the arm.
Yeah, I've been hit harder.
And he rolled better. That's 13 points of healing.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Same dice.
Same dice. Okay.
There's no modifier. It's just a straight roll. So.
Well,
Okay.
whatever you did worked, Kevin. I'm feeling a little better.
Yeah. So if you could wipe this thing off of the surface of the planet, that'd be good.
That's what I'm aiming to do.
Okay. Yep. Rooting for you.
Yep.
I'd like to root from over here, but I think if I move away, it's going to be an attack of opportunity now.
Well,
The best
yeah,
part
you're
here
probably
is
right.
what he said is 100% canon, but I'm not sure any of the party understand what an attack of opportunity is because your characters.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think maybe Zax might, because she's, been through a lot of battles and had a lot of training, might pick that up, but I don't know about the rest,
Understands
That's
what
a
it implies.
weird way to conceptualize battle tactics, but okay.
Wait until you hear my theory about saving throws. They're not just when
Sounds
you...
like something Zax has done.
It does, but it's not. Or it could be.
Well, tell me about this later. We got a big ugly to fight right now.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You ever notice how time seems to stop when we have conversations during combat?
I don't know. I'm raging, Kevin. It's kind of different anyway.
Okay, so the reason why Cog Bucket went at the end was because Cog Bucket was holding their action, but they're not holding their action this time, and they did get a 20 on the initiative order. So they are going to use their turn this round to cast Cure Wounds, and they are going to continue to heal Chroma because they're right there.
Aww.
And I rolled a 1. So that's a wonderful spell slot that's been used up. Chroma, you may heal an additional 3 more points. 1d8
Every
plus
bit
2.
helps.
That's what I was saying on Saturday when people were doing like 2 points of damage a turn. Oh, okay. Neri, it is my hope that you will be far more effective than my NPCs have been.
I hope so too.
Oh, I can throw this really
Zach,
powerful
still
thing.
over there?
Sorry?
Is Zach still over there?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, that's a nat 20 and a
So,
22.
So you're going to roll all the dice.
That's a 22 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Its AC is significantly below 20. It's a giant mass of rotting flesh.
Fair enough. I got count. So that's 23 plus 16 is 39 damage, piercing.
You know what? I need to type that in the encounter tracker and not Twitch chat.
That would help.
One of those does a much better job of keeping track of hit points. So, last round, it was bloodied, and then it healed, and it wasn't bloodied anymore. You've made it bloodied again. You have made it bleed its own blood again.
Excellent.
And anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. Zax.
All right, I'm going to hit it with the hammer again.
I thought me and Yuri had the same
Oh,
initiative order.
No.
be true.
No, there is a
held
shared
my action
initiative.
last turn until after.
Yeah. It's Zax and Zenosha that have the same initiative. Neri held
Okay.
her action. But yes, it's also your turn.
The Zax can go first.
Okay, I got a 15 to hit. Is that too
That will actually miss, but you have pack tactics, remember.
I do. So that means I try again? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, one more try. Now
Last
it's a
time
20.
you didn't because you were the only one there.
Right. Okay. Well, now it's a 20.
That will hit.
Enough? Okay.
Not 20 or
So I'm
dirty
gonna-
20?
Dirty 20.
Okay.
11 plus 9. Okay, so damage is 4 plus 1 plus 8 for 13.
All right.
All right, that's my first hit. Second hit, 16.
A 16 is exactly what you needed.
Okay.
But roll again to see if it's a natural 20.
Oh, okay. No, it's not.
Okay. Then we'll go with
Okay.
that. Roll your damage.
All right. Damage is 1 plus 3 plus 8 for 12.
All righty.
And then I'm going to do a bonus action in case this thing's still alive on my next turn. I'm going to do a frenzy attack. So then for the duration of your rage, you can make a single melee weapon attack as a bonus action on each of your turns after this one. So next turn I get 3 hits if it's still
Okay.
alive.
Mark my words. Frenzied action is the new acid arrow.
Yeah.
Might be.
Or maybe not. I didn't say how much it regenerated its hit points last turn.
True. I don't know.
I just said things grew back. Okay.
That sounds terrible.
It is. It is. The DM is a little squeamish. The DM is looking forward to the end of this arc. The DM has concerns about the DM's own arc. So, Zenosha, at the exact same time, Zax is hitting it very hard after putting it in a very large box and mailing it to themselves. The hardest part was putting the large box inside another large box, but never mind. What is Zenosha doing at this point?
I'm going to cast Chill Touch, and I assume I have advantage thanks to Pack Tactics.
Yes,
Oh, thank goodness.
The higher of the two was a 21,
that will hit.
so
Skeletal Pokey Hand is a great plan right now.
I deal 7 points of damage and necrotic damage. Hopefully this thing isn't resistant to that as well. And it doesn't get to regain hit points.
It takes no damage.
Oh.
Rules is written, it's still not allowed to gain hit points, though. And if it counts as undead, it's now got disadvantages, I think, on attacks against me. Maybe everyone. Let me double
Against
check.
you.
Okay, yeah, just against me. And I'm also going to pop a healing word on myself.
Didn't you make a large orb to heal people also?
Yeah, and then I took
She lost
66
concentration.
damage. Yeah, with 66 damage, the concentration check to maintain that would have been 33. It's literally impossible for Zenosha to make that.
There was
I
an
rolled-
outside chance.
I rolled just in case I got a nat 20 and didn't get a nat 20.
So what you're saying is maybe. That's a horrible joke. Never mind. Also, everyone ran away from the orb. Except for Snacks, who is wisely just standing back. Snacks is currently Snacks and Neri are the only two who didn't say, giant ball of no, let's run towards it.
All right, that healing word heals myself for 17, and that's my turn.
Okay, Chroma.
Hi. You zapped me with a lot of lightning, and I'm not a fan of that.
We will
So-
consume you.
Not really a fan of that either. So this is going to, smell terrible, but Chroma casts Scorching Ray.
Get him, Ray. and Ray, and
Ray.
Ray, and their other brother, Ray. And the third brother's named Daryl for some reason.
Huh. Must be a glitch. 16, 18, 21.
Those are all hits.
And because I'm casting through my arcane firearm, I get to add, I think, 1d8 to that. I need to check my arcane firearm just to... Yep.
I do love how it turned out that your arcane focus is currently, I think, technically a handgun that a gift gave you.
Yep, the sidearm.
The
Also,
gift gifted you. That is 32 points of damage. I need to reduce that because it takes half damage from fire damage also.
If I had a particular feat, that would not be an issue, but I don't have this feat. I note this mostly because Zaylee did have this feat, and I'm not sure it ever came up after she got it, except for when she got summoned to fight, or a version of her got summoned to fight the Hit and Abyss party.
No, you did fight things. I remember more than once you fought things that had fire resistance where it was just like, nah.
Oh,
no,
okay,
we're going
good.
to ignore that.
Okay, good.
It wasn't often, but you did end up fighting a bunch of Tiamat worshippers. There were dragons.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And one very sorry member of the 20, where it wasn't his first day, but he was new. Hey, so can I hit it again? I'd like to hit it again.
I would love for you to hit it again.
24 is a hit.
7 points of force damage.
All right. Guess what? I don't have to reduce the force damage.
Excellent.
I was almost ready to ask you how you want me to do this, but I think I know. Sadly, it's still there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It is the nose turn. It heals.
Even with the chill touch?
Oh, wait. You're right. 1, you're correct. Thank you for reminding me. 2, I put that in as damage, not healing, and killed it.
Oh, oops.
Fortunately, D&D Beyond's combat tracker doesn't say, okay, you reduced it to 0, therefore it goes away. That would be worse. But it is not a fan of Chill Touch. And it is going to... Well, let's see if it recharges.
Oh, no.
Please no.
It's got a 1 in 3 chance.
Oh dear.
And that's a 1. So, no, it does not. You are blessed. The DM is rolling horribly this evening.
Yeah, he only took out 90% of my hit points in one go.
Yeah, that wasn't me rolling, though. That was you making a saving throw. The only really good roll I've done has been JR's initiative. Everything else, including all of my healing, was garbage. Okay, it is going to make 2 tendril attacks. The tendrils weren't there at the start of its turn, but they appear. Isn't that lovely?
Oh.
And one of them is going to go after Chroma, and the other one is going to go after Zax.
Okay.
All right, then. Come on.
Let's see. It has a pretty high to hit versus
That's
Chroma.
fine. I have a pretty high AC.
That's a 25.
Whoa.
I cast shield. It doesn't hit.
That is a pretty high AC. You are correct. Okay, versus Zax, who has a slightly lower AC.
Right.
Your mitigation abilities are not from being in half plate. They're from being angry and looking at the tendril and saying, no.
Nope.
Bad. Okay, that roll is going to be not bad. That is a 27.
Yeah, armor class 17, so...
So that's going to hit you. Mm-hmm. You are going to take 29 bludgeoning damage, but it's bludgeoning damage, which means we reduce it by half, which means you're not putting in 29. That would be rounded down, so that would be 14 bludgeoning damage for you.
Okay. All right.
And you are considered grappled.
Oh, no.
And restrained.
Wow. Okay.
The good news is you will be able to, assuming it lives long enough, make an escape attempt. And considering your bonus of strength, I
might make it. Yeah.
I am not a betting person, but if I were, I have a suspicion as to the result. I just had a minor hiccup where... so
Laughing at Ellie's statement again.
it would have regrets. So, yeah, it's okay. Zax has experience being inside aberrant horrors. Yes,
Yep.
you do, unfortunately.
I start punching them from the inside.
So the thing... Well, you can't do that when you're restrained, unfortunately.
Not when you're restrained, but, you know.
So this thing that you're fighting is out of a third-party source book, which I love because it makes it much harder to metagame. Not saying that the metagaming is intentional, but sometimes you can't help. The downside is it's not existent in D&D Beyond, so I created a homebrew thing so I could put it in the encounter tracker, but I left a lot of parts blank because I was just doing it quickly because I had the book in front of me. Mm-hmm. Which meant because I was just, throwing a few stats in so it would have the right AC and hit points, it left in a spot for legendary actions. This creature does not have legendary actions. The book has nothing about legendary actions. But I looked at D&D Beyond's encounter tracker and it said legendary actions, and I blinked and looked at it again and no, you would all kill me. You would find out where I live and you would hunt me down. No, it doesn't. This is not its lair, Ellie. This is not a lair action either. If it had lair actions, then I will neither confirm nor deny if it has lair actions. If an Ogmanite enclave, a structure dedicated to the following in the teachings of Ogma, was in fact its lair, I would have several concerns.
Yeah.
And I'm the DM.
Now I'm wondering if Marwise has lair actions in her main library.
Interesting.
That is worth taking a moment to sit down and think about.
Yeah.
The Great Shush.
Nice.
Cast Silence is a free action.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The area of effect is the entire layer.
When Marwise shushes you, she means it.
Next up is Snacks. The player that's AFK might get the killing blow.
It's all right.
As long as it's dead.
Okay, that's a 19. That's going to hit. I'm casting Ray of Frost again, by the way. That is 11 points of damage, reduced by half. That is 5 points of damage. Hey, Snacks, how do you want to do this? I believe it will be a no-sickle. That is, in fact, what it turns into. The sphere gets a sheen of frost around the outer edges of it, and then it falls to the ground and shatters like the worst science experiment.
Which is probably what it is.
Yeah. All right, that one's done.
Okay. It heals 10 hit points.
I kick it.
Go ahead and roll.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm rolling. Damage?
Roll to hit.
Roll 2 hits. Okay.
Yeah,
2 hits.
I will... Actually, let me check. Is it immune to being prone? It is not immune to being prone. A giant sphere of nope can be knocked prone.
Okay. Am
I'm
I
okay
still
with
grappled and or restrained?
No, as soon as it froze and
Not.
quote-unquote
Okay,
died.
Okay. So what button do I hit to...
Just,
this thing?
well, you're not attacking it with your hammer of thunderbolts.
No.
So you'd be adding your strength modifier. Go ahead and do a strength check. It's the same numbers.
Strength check. Okay, do that. I got a 20 plus 10.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay.
As we have covered before, when you do a punch or a kick, it's 1 plus your strength modifier. So usually it's things like with kobold games, like my favorite kobold to play has a -2, so technically he should be able to heal you by punching you.
Yeah.
As a cleric, that is not his preferred method.
Right.
I guess that's healing with cantrips. Because you can do it every turn without using plus level. But you have a +7 to strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kill it again.
Yes. That one's not coming back.
Okay. It heals 10 hit points.
Huh.
Is it supposed to keep doing that?
I have an idea.
All right,
I
try
have
your
an
idea.
We're gonna shove it in my bag of holding.
Okay, this thing is still 15 feet across.
That's gonna.
It's
take
also
some
made
effort.
of blobby stuff. So, Zax,
Yeah.
help?
Okay. I start picking up the... Did this thing shatter? I don't even know. If it shattered, I'm gonna...
It shattered, but then it healed.
Alright, I'm just gonna pick it up and try to, like, cram it into the bag of holding as much
You know,
as I
we've been
can.
playing for about an hour, so I'm going to say make an athletics check.
An athletics check. Okay. I got an 18 plus 10 for a 28. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. This is a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah.
So I need to
Wait,
contest this.
I forgot my bag of holding doesn't work right now.
Oh.
So you're trying to fit it into a normal pouch. Like, I don't think it's gonna fit.
Yeah, it's,
Wait,
only
why
part
doesn't
of
it
it's bitten.
Because the sphere...
The interdimensional dampener
Oh.
Yeah.
that Bindle created renders all multidimensional effects null and void, which also enraged this thing.
So maybe cast Chill Touch on it again?
It
And
heals
if
another
we-
10 hit points and floats up again.
Okay. I can just hit it with my hammer until it's goo.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
And I'll be casting Chill Touch. It doesn't take
Okay.
damage, but it prevents it from healing.
Okay,
rolled
make your
an
attack
8.
rolls.
I rolled an 8 plus 11 for a 19.
Yep, that's going to hit.
Okay.
You still have
damage.
pack tactics, so...
I'll get it. 18.
I got a
So-
26.
Okay, I have, for
Okay.
damage, I have 6 plus 4 plus 8 for 8.
Okay.
On that hit.
So, congratulations. You have about 12 seconds to figure out what to do before it tries to attack you again.
I'm going to hit it again.
Set
Keep
it on
casting
fire.
Chill Touch until we can turn off the thingy and... No, it's fire resistant.
I got an 18.
Does anyone have acid? Lots of
Bindle
acid.
points at the vial that she threw at the wall by mistake.
Okay. So
Yes.
Okay, so
that
if we
missed.
keep
Can we try again?
casting... If you keep casting Chill Touch, we can probably keep it under control long enough to either... you could go turn off the sphere, or, we could find something big to shove it into, but it might break out.
does an 18 hit?
I'm going to, for rule of cool, simply say that while this discussion is being had, Zax is just there with a hammer going, nope, smish, nope, smish,
Exactly.
nope, smish, over and
Keep
over
going.
again.
Until it's goo.
For so long as it has 0 hit points, it is prone. So even if everyone else leaves you in the hallway by yourself with this thing,
can
you have
do this
advantage on your
forever.
attacks.
Yep. Yeah, okay, that works. I'll just keep doing that. Whatever that turns out to be, that's the plan.
Okay, Bindle says, I have a lot of misgivings and concerns, but if you think turning it off will let you put it in the... I don't know who does your laundry, but they're going to be very cross with you. I'm going to go turn it off now. And she runs back into her laboratory. And you know how sometimes when you turn something off, like an old CRT monitor, where you didn't realize it was making a sound, but when you turn it off, you realize that it had been making a sound? That's exactly what you encounter. There was a sound that you could hear, but you weren't realizing it was there, but now you hear its absence.
Okay. Zach, can you try and shove it in?
Is the bag of holding working now?
It is working now.
Should
Okay,
be.
yeah. All right, cool. I'm going to, pick it up and try to smush it into the bag of holding.
And I rolled
However
to
long it takes
contest.
to do.
I rolled to contest your roll.
Mm-hmm.
It also has a +7 to strength, by the way,
Interesting.
but it is not proficient in athletics.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't go to the gym. It doesn't work out. You don't see it there with a pull-up bar.
Right.
It has never once hummed Eye of the Tiger while going up a flight of stairs.
All right, so I'm going to smush this thing into the bag of holding because Chroma wants it for some reason.
I don't want it, but I want it somewhere where it can't
Get out.
rampage around and kill people.
Yeah, okay.
Now, if I remember correctly, your bag of holding is one of the things you have because you're an artificer?
No.
Okay.
It's just a bag of holding.
Okay. That's good because that would have other implications. Now, this is going to work towards the bag's maximum capacity.
That's fair. How much stuff do I already have in it?
That's a good
This is
question.
considered a huge monstrosity.
How many pounds does it weigh?
I am afraid to do that math.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to say...
important math.
It's important math. I'm going to say you can fit it in now, but you might not be using the bag as much as you'd like to in the future until this can find some other way of being resolved.
Okay.
Also, you might not want to be in this vicinity if the interdimensional dampener gets turned back on.
Wouldn't it just make the bag stuff inaccessible? That's usually what's happened. My bag didn't suddenly start weighing 140 pounds.
Wise. The DM concedes the point. But also, we've been playing for over an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
Yeah, okay.
Good plan.
Okay.
All the buttons.
Not all the buttons. I refuse. You can't make me. If I press all the buttons, we're going to stop recording and streaming. All right, so officially what has happened is you managed to squeeze this horrible thing into a bag of holding and made...
And now I have a decanter of endless snow.
Yep,
Yes.
That's what you got.
Yes, that is exactly what you have created. It is the worst decanter. I mean, you have a decanter of endless water that undead exiled illithids do not appreciate. They might actually hate this thing more, and that's a tough stretch. But in the process of moving this thing into your bag of nope, as it is now, not Zeely. Zeely's not here right now.
No, if she
Zeely's-
was here, I'd probably be in trouble for something. I feel like bags of endless nope are against the rules.
So far as I know, Zeely hasn't really made an appearance again since she went off to burninate the countryside to let some stress out. But with that said, Chroma and Zax, in the process of taking this thing that smells like 1,000 corpses and shoving it into a bag. Ooh, Matt's home. Hold on. Yeah, someone tell Matt he hasn't missed it. You find what your first thought is a cyst, which of course is incredibly gross. But
whole
it's an
thing is
additional.
incredibly gross.
Yeah, it's like if you're walking through the mud barefoot and you find something that is a different viscosity in the mud, it's just another layer of bad on top of everything. But
Ew.
there was something inside of it that was made of metal. You thought.
Oh, Zax? Best
Uh-huh.
big sibling in the history of big siblings.
What do you need?
Can you rip it out?
That thing? Sure. And I go grab it
Yay!
and
Okay.
pull it out.
It doesn't require any roll to do. It's not, in fact, made of metal. Or maybe it is. It's hard to tell. A large portion of it is a crystal, and there's parts of it that you don't know what it is. Your first thought was it was metal, or maybe it's ivory, in which case, no, that was probably not humanely harvested. Or, no, maybe it's some type of... Is it like some shellac? You don't know what it is. It's crystal and something else. And it's
And
shaped
I hand
like...
it to...
It's kind of shaped like a starfish.
Weird. All right. Here's a weird-looking thing, Chroma. There you go.
Neat! I'll have to study it.
I have no idea what that thing does, but there you go.
Okay, so it's turned off for now. Let me know if it... Oh, what? That is a very large mess.
Yeah, that tends to happen when we're done killing stuff. You know?
I,
When we tried to clean it up, we stuffed most of this thing into her bag of holding. You know,
I
sorry about
do
that.
not have a device that lets me cast prestidigitation.
We've been playing long enough when we started late enough that Carbonite is now backing up again.
Oh no.
I have told it to pause for another 2 hours. If we're still playing in 2 hours, something's gone horribly wrong.
Yes.
So hopefully it'll be a little while, and then it looks like Discord has already caught up. There we go. OBS is caught up now too. All right. Oh no, it's okay. We have automatons for that. And Bindle
Cool.
presses a button on the wall, and a panel opens up further down the hallway, near the elevator door that you came through originally, and a machine that it looks like an upside-down trash can with maybe 15 mops shoved inside the open end, which, since it's upside down, is at the bottom, starts moving over like the little bits of the mop are cilia. And you hear a whirring noise as it goes over the ground and starts cleaning things.
Wow. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, one of the other Augmenites made it. They call it a hallway ba. I don't really know why the ba part at the end. It's
Must
really
be a translation error or something, you know?
Maybe, I don't know. They're not from around here, but actually
No,
none of
they're
us
not.
are from around here. It's really good unless someone... Well, there was someone's pet dog had an accident in the hallway, and yeah, that's not so good.
Okay, so this thing's gonna clean up what's left of that thing that's now in a bag.
In my bag of holding.
Yep.
Please,
And,
I am not comfortable with how you lifted it up like that and waved it around while you mentioned its name.
Yeah, well. Chroma gets excited about the strangest things, you know? You get used to it.
And Kevin's just like, you've met Bindle, right? I mean, she's right here. I mean, I feel attacked, but also you're not wrong.
So, do you want to visit the moon?
I can visit the moon?
Yeah, we gotta go back there eventually. We're here to check on some people, and we've checked on some.
There's a really powerful Augmenite cleric on the moon, so we have an excuse.
You have an Augmenite cleric on the moon?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Who?
I don't know why we all froze.
Because we told them last session, and that scared them off.
Oh, no. What you told them last session, they focused on a different member of the old party, and that may have, and then this thing.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
they have had reasons to forget that.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Most individuals that encountered what you as a party have just encountered would not have a significant number of functioning brain cells afterwards.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Her name's Marwise. Zenosha knows her real well.
And this is the... Oh, wait, I remember this conversation. This is the friend of Zeely, the Destroyer.
It's somehow fitting.
I mean, I can't really argue that, but
I'm pretty
Also,
sure she
she's
came up
gonna
with that
take that
title on the fly just now.
she'd probably take it as a compliment.
Yeah, I've met her. She would. Well,
Y-
actually, yes, this me met her.
Interesting. I don't think I entirely understand, but that's okay.
Okay, but Zeely's not up there. Marwise is not a destroyer. And
Right.
yeah, we don't have the political pull to get you a permanent residence up there, but especially if you might have insight into the half-sphere thing, we can probably get you some sort of visitor visa.
Oh, yeah. I can tell Sniv that you maybe know how to make it safe, and then he shouldn't keep me out anymore.
Could work.
Politics is hard.
Politics is annoying.
Well, I could take my notes with me, and then I could say that I'm an outside consultant.
Sounds like something Sniff would. That could work.
So he'll probably like it.
Possibly. What's with the starfish?
Oh, it came out of the nope.
Yeah. I don't know
came
what it is.
out of the... Ugh.
I ripped it out.
They ripped it out.
Yep.
I think some of it's still on it.
Yeah, I did mention I don't have a prestidigitation device.
Mine
You do
is
have
kind
a
of
decanter of endless water.
Oh, right! I have a decanter of endless water.
Don't use it in the hallway!
Oh, right. Yeah.
I wasn't going to use it at a big setting. I guess we'd need to put up a wet floor sign, though.
I'm just saying you're in an Augmenite enclave,
Oh!
and a significant
Stuff that
amount of the
isn't
population...
waterproof.
A significant amount of the population here is gnomes. It would not be the first time a decanter of endless water was used on the heavy-duty setting.
Oh, okay.
We've collectively started calling them power wash events.
Wow.
Pretty sure half of them are intentional
But-
now.
even the lowest setting is a gallon of water, so maybe I'll do that outside.
I could take that for you if you want.
The thingy?
Yeah.
Do you have an identification device right now?
I mean, I've got my tools with me.
Excellent. So we could find out what it does?
I mean, it would probably take a while, but I could take a look at it. But we were going to go to the moon, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I could look at that while we're going to the moon or something.
Okay. But I want to look too.
Okay. We can look at it together. That'd be good.
Excellent.
Okay. Kevin? Yeah? Kevin,
Player feels like I should be making an insight check, but...
Kevin, could you get the notes? Oh dear. It's turned off. Okay. Someone wrangle Kevin. I'm gonna collect my notes.
Oh, right. Kevin?
Yeah?
You're not quite with us anymore, are you?
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, but you're also not here.
You
mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I'm not all here.
Yeah, okay.
I'm told that a lot.
You doing all right?
Apparently one of me died recently?
Oh, no!
That doesn't sound good at all.
It's okay. I wasn't really alive.
Okay, don't
there was
understand.
an
how to
undead
process
you?
That's
that.
all right. That's all right.
Well, the rest of me don't know how to process it either, so it's an even playing field.
That's got to get weird.
You don't know the half of it.
No idea. I think you're supposed to go get some kind of note.
Oh.
Does that make any sense?
Because we're going to the moon.
I think so.
Okay.
Space might be a little cramped for you. You're a bit taller than us, but we could.
He's about the same height as JR.
Oh, that'll work.
Okay, and Kevin and Bindle gather up a whole bunch of notes. They did have a bag of holding. They just tended to not use it so much because the whole turn this thing on and all bags of holding are just bags situation.
Yeah.
But they did have one available, so they're not carrying like suitcases full of paperwork. Or maybe they are, but they put the suitcases inside a bag.
By the way, what happens if you turn it on and you put something in the normal bagified bag of holding and then you turn it back off?
I was given a stern warning never to do it again.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So I am not, considering it is 11 at night, going to have you RP your entire trip all the way back to the spaceship and then back up to the moon. I will say you drop off your visitor passes. Nothing explodes.
Good.
Well,
Excellent.
that's a bold-faced lie. Nothing near you explodes.
Okay.
You were in an
Faraway
Ogmanite enclave.
explosions are the sound of science.
Sometimes I prefer the sound of silence.
Doesn't that sound like someone casting darkness?
I mean, you beat me to it. I was going to have one of them wave to a friend named Darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I'd love to come and talk with you again, but I gotta go. We're going to the moon. Okay. And you arrive on the moon. The entire time you are flying there, Bindle and Kevin are kind of pressed up against the glass for the front windows. And Kevin, in particular, we appear on the outside of the ship looking in, and Kevin's face is pressed up against the glass in a comedic fashion where half of it is pressed flat against the lens.
Okay.
This is so cool.
Uh-huh.
There are so many people who are really mad at me right now.
Okay.
We're all just watching out this window.
Oh, okay. So like the Kevin collective, I guess, right?
There are other Kevins who are supposed to be doing very important things, and we're not.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I don't think we can do anything about that right now.
Okay, and you land, and you get out, and there are kobold guards at the front door. When you land, you see there is another angel ship parked next to the first angel ship.
Oh, they got two now.
Kind of, sort of. We're still working on it.
Looks like you're making progress.
Oh, yeah. And
Cool.
the ones that Fiddle Punch trained, they're starting to train others.
That's probably a good thing.
Yep, only 2 fatalities.
Oh.
Okay.
Poor little Mr. Pinchy.
Oh. All right.
Oh.
That's what we called the stunk.
All right, inventors.
It
I'll talk to
didn't
you later. We should probably
So,
go in.
why are you down here?
I was told to guard this spot.
For what?
That's why I've got my spear and magic helmet.
Okay. What were you guarding it from?
The magic helmet appears to mostly be a bucket that's been turned on upside down on top of the kobold's head. Yes, I specifically made that reference expecting Ellie and Archbeth to start doing that. My only surprise is that Cindy has not provided an appropriate GIF already. I was supposed to guard it from, well, technically I was told if any of the large spider things, or small spider things with the big Umber Hulk things, showed up, I was supposed to raise the alarm.
Oh, okay.
None of you are small spider things in disguise, are you?
No.
None of you are mind-controlled, are you? If you are, you have to tell me. That's the law.
No, we're not mind controlled.
I'm pretty sure
Not
I'm
this
not.
time. If I was mind controlled, probably Zax would have picked me up again. And there would be more yelling.
There would be more yelling. This is true.
I was told I'm not a very good target for that.
Oh,
Yelling? Or
No, I
mind
think-
control?
maybe
Mind
well,
control.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's what I
Too many
thought.
targets. Fascinating.
That they didn't know there was more than one of me.
All right, well, we
Anyway,
should,
I've made this awkward now.
That's okay. Not a problem.
So, if you're gonna bring non-kobolds in, I've been told you're supposed to go to immigration.
Really?
They're not going
But-
to be permanent residents, though. They're just here temporarily.
I'm an outside consultant.
Yeah.
You're what now?
And Kevin's her assistant, so, we need them both.
She's another artificer.
Where's your scorpion on a stick?
Artificer, not inventor.
It's in my bag of holding. Oh, that's nifty. I think they should have those be standard issue. Those artificers just wave those sticks around like crazy.
All right, we're going to go now. You can keep
But I
looking
do
for
have a
spider
decanter
things.
of endless snope. And that's better.
I think I would like to be relieved of guard duty now.
All right, we'll go away with the bag of endless nope now, and you could just...
No, it's totally fine so long as no one opens the bag with what appears to be very thin fabric.
That'll be all right.
The DM is temporarily ignoring the rules for what happens if a sentient creature is placed inside an extra-dimensional space, like a bag of holding or a haversack.
Don't remember
Or a
what
portable
those
hole.
rules are, but that's okay.
You can make a strength check to get out.
Oh, I'll just push it back in.
Oh,
Zax, why are you sitting on that bag of holding?
Reasons? You don't want to know.
Every 6 seconds, you just punch it really hard.
Yep. Trust me, you don't want me to stop doing this.
Actually, I can imagine you wouldn't be punching the bag of holding. You'd be using your hammer of thunderbolts on it every 6 seconds. Smack!
Yeah. Exactly.
If you stay in one place
Six.
too long, there's a bit of a crater.
Yep.
This is why we don't play this late.
Yeah. Turns into that.
Actually, no, I take that back. We were off the rails when we
yeah.
started.
We were. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Mm-hmm.
When are we not? All right.
when we're on a train.
No, you've been off the rails for that too.
Oh, yeah, we were.
I remember one particular train where there were parts of it where you were airborne above ground when it was mostly a subway.
Yeah.
That was fun. Kevin remembers that. He had a part-time job as the conductor.
Oh.
That's when you first met him.
Kevin
Well-
has a lot of jobs.
Yeah, he has a hard time keeping one. All right, so you don't have much issue getting in through the various bits of security, getting to, now I'm forgetting his name, Sniv's office. It's the same kobold dragon shields guarding the door as last time, and they go, oh, hey, I remember you, the 42 guns. Yeah, okay, well, you already know the answer, so yeah, you can go right in.
Cool. In we go.
Yay!
It is really late. I can't wait till my relief comes in. It's about bedtime. Okay, and as you come in, you see Sniv is... you're not sure that the papers on Sniv's desk are the same papers. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. The piles appear to be unchanged.
Hey,
It's not-
remember how you said that I shouldn't mess with the sphere thing because it might be dangerous? I found someone who built something and sort of like that who knows how they work, and now we can make it not dangerous.
Very much like last time, Sniv pauses and looks at you with a deadpan expression. Then looks...
dangerous in a way where we're deciding where the danger goes. Because, being an artificer involves a lot of that.
And Sniv looks over at each of the party members, as well as Bindle Brightlight, and Kevin, no last name given. And the DM makes a roll. Okay, that's sufficient. You brought in help.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Stonetail, I was told that you had technological curiosities that required additional expertise, and I would like to present my credentials as a certified, experienced outside consultant willing to work on the cheap. And Bindle pulls out a bag of holding and pulls out a stack of papers that is half as tall as she is and puts them on the desk next to a different stack of papers. What are these? My credentials. Your credentials. Uh-huh. That sounds very familiar in tone and emphasis. Wonder if you picked that up anywhere. And Sniv pulls the first sheet off the pile and looks at it and says, you should hire her. She's really cool. It's a credential. This appears to be signed by Daldane. I totally know Daldane.
Oh, wow.
Don't we all? I mean...
She's a follower of Ogma, and she invented something that looks a lot like the half-sphere thing we haven't figured out, and it also manipulates interdimensional space. So...
And that's my hypothesis for what the half-sphere does. Even if they're not exactly the same sort of device, I suspect they're at least in the same, general family of devices, to use a bit of a metaphor.
Sniv is quiet for a moment after you finish and picks up the next sheet of paper in the credentials pile and looks at it and says, okay, these are actual credentials on this paper. Graduated from the University of 15 years experience. You still have all of your original fingers. Speaks well of you. Okay, you're hired. On the grounds that you are only to examine our expensive, fragile technology under expert supervision.
So, Chroma.
Chroma. She knows more about it than anybody else.
Me or Fiddle Punch?
Yeah, that'll do.
Chroma it is then. Fiddle Punch is on vacation.
Oh.
Oh, good. He deserves one.
Yes, very long overdue. Right. Well, I suppose you should probably figure out what that thing does.
All right, let's get to it.
That sounds good. Let's get you guys over there to start working on it.
So you head down. You have a few conversations with guards along the way. The ones that are outside the sphere. Insert comical bit here where you have to use mind games, which don't sound like mind games. Mind games invented by someone who's 5 to convince them that you should be allowed to get through. But we're not going to RP that at 11:22. And you see the giant sphere, half sphere, and a small crater on the floor.
Yeah, that was me. Oops.
I don't think you're supposed to punch down.
Yeah, it wasn't as much fun as I thought it would be.
It's usually not.
Temporarily thought there might be a room below us.
Oh, no, if this is anything like the one I made, you can't have a room below it, or, well, you can, but it's very fatal.
Oh.
Noted.
All right.
We will not expand downward.
Yeah, matter of fact, I wouldn't stand in the crater if I were you.
Oh, I thought somebody would have fixed that by now, but no.
It kind of tingles. JR, get out of the crater, please.
That's not a good thing.
Okay. We're going to have to set up a perimeter around that to make sure,
I'll ask the guards outside if they have one of those yellow sign things.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Okay. So, Chroma, give me a investigation check at advantage because Bindle is helping you out.
Excellent. I will do that.
This is where we get 2 natural ones. And DM can provide no additional context.
Ooh.
23. I think I actually am going to use my Flash of Genius thing to make that even better and have a 27.
Sorry, the target number was 30. No, not true. Not true. I appreciate the snort that I heard. I don't know who gave it, but I'll take it. It's mine now. Okay. So a lot of what you were able to figure out before is still true. You're fairly certain it's broken. You're fairly certain that it did something with the crystal sphere and kept it from being functional, which kept you off of a lot of star charts. Well, phlogiston charts, whatever. You get the idea. Because the crystal sphere was a void, so people avoided it. I take credit for that pun. Retroactively, I didn't realize it when I said it, but I retroactively take credit for it. However, it appears to, well, first of all, it is a lot larger than the one that Bindle made, and there are some notable differences. The one Bindle made requires a very large amount of power to be piped into it. This thing, when it's fully functional, is self-powered.
Ooh.
The power source is incomplete.
Oh.
And as you're examining it, you find some things that you're able to figure out. They are controls that involve X, Y, and Z axes.
Interesting.
If you had rolled a 20, a dirty 20, I would have said that your best guess was that these controls determined where the field was. It didn't have to be around one particular thing. You could move it around. But since you use your flash of inspiration to take your score over a 25, I will say that that is partially true. You can move the field around, provided you move the thing that's generating the field.
Ooh.
Which you can do.
Oh.
If this thing is working, even though this thing is embedded into the moon. It just so happens to move the moon with it.
It's a moon and a space station.
I can think of no better line on which to end it.
Yeah.
So thank you all for playing. Thank you all for listening. When we play again, everyone's going to be up one level. I believe that means you'll be level 9.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. Chroma's going to have Fireball.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be interesting.
Everything I throw at you will have a resistance to fire damage. Or immunity.
There's a reason Zach started wearing Gox's armor that has fire damage
There you go.
resistance.
Next week, you'll be going to the Zeely family reunion. You meet all of Monty's
fire
in-laws.
resistance?
Stand behind me.
Oh, look! Lunch has arrived. No, you are not eating the family. What about the friends of the family? No. You thought about it. I did, and I still said no. So tonight I've been joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Archbeth hanging out in Discord chat, LFA hanging out in Twitch chat. We also had Ellie, Io, Jen, and Cindy. Matt did manage to come home, but it was late and he was tired, unfortunately. But he'll be here next week. Let's do a few quick plugs. So, Jen has a blog and podcast. You can get those at bookofjen.net. Io's mom writes books. You can get those at elizabeth-mccoy.com. It's late enough that I'm wording up my mix. Yes, I'm totally going to blame that on me being tired, regardless of the fact that I do that when I'm wide awake. I have an excuse this time. Dagnabbit, I'm using it. Ellie has a lot of cool things, including, but not limited to, she is the proud owner of Elek.xyz, ELEKK.xyz. It is a social network that is Mastodon and ActivityPub compatible. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, our social network information is available in the cast page in the show notes. So go ahead and check that out for those of us who have that information and are willing to share. And I am still upset about this, so I am not going to plug our Patreon. Instead, I am going to again request, as I did for a totally different campaign, instead of giving to our Patreon, as I asked multiple times, what I'm going to ask instead is that people vote for the politicians who are willing to support public education and not cut the budget by $345 million. Just saying. That might have been a thing. All right. So until next time, this is Crash saying, please do not open the decanter of endless Snope. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.